Have you ever caught yourself reciting empty words, feeling that your prayer, your plea, doesn't rise beyond the ceiling, finding no echo in the vast silence of the universe? It's a profound sense of disconnection, an existential crisis that grips us when we realize the learned formulas don't resonate with the soul. What if the prayer Jesus taught, the one that has echoed for centuries in temples and hearts, was distorted? Not out of malice, perhaps, but through simplification, through humanity's need to tame the untamable, to reduce mystery to a replicable formula. We are about to peel back the layers of interpretation that have accumulated over one of humanity's most potent forgotten spiritual codes, revealing the true essence of divine communication, not a monologue from you to a distant God, but a deep dialogue with a divine that resides within you. Prepare to look beyond what you were taught, to feel the resonance of a truth that time tried to erase. Imagine prayer not as a plea, but as perfect synchronicity, an alignment of your inner frequency with the universe's frequency. When Jesus taught our Father, he wasn't referring to an external, paternal figure, but to the creative principle dwelling in every being. The archetype of the Great Father, the provider and organizer, manifesting in our own potential for creation. Neuroscience, with its findings on neuroplasticity and heart coherence, is beginning to map how our inner states are, emotions, intentions, and beliefs can literally reshape our reality. An effective prayer isn't about what you say, but the state of being you access, the vibration you emit. What if the heaven he spoke of wasn't a physical place but a state of consciousness? A dimension where the mind connects directly to the collective unconscious, drawing from it insights, healing, and solutions to your deepest existential crises. What has been taught as a mechanical repetition of the Our Father might originally have been a guide to activating your own pineal gland, that small mystical portal in the brain's center, revered by ancient cultures as the seat of the soul and intuition. When activated through focused intention and deep meditative states, it can be the key to decoding the Jungian symbols life presents and tuning into frequencies beyond the physical world, enabling true spiritual healing. Authentic prayer, then, isn't about changing God's mind, but transforming your own, transcending emotional trauma and the inner shadow that trap you in patterns of scarcity and suffering. It's about releasing limiting beliefs rooted in your psyche, often inherited, that prevent you from accessing the boundless potential you already possess. The true power of the prayer Jesus taught, and which was distorted, lies in its ability to spark an awakening of consciousness so profound it not only transforms your perception of reality but literally reorganizes your biology and energy field. It's not a ritual of submission, but an act of spiritual sovereignty, a declaration of alignment with the universal creative force within you. He didn't ask you to humble yourself, but to recognize yourself as a child of the Creator, bearer of the same divine spark. This prayer is an invitation to go beyond words, to feel the truth in your heart, to vibrate in the frequency of abundance, health, and connection. It's a call to remember who you truly are and use that remembrance to shape your reality. Are you ready to go beyond what you were told and dive into the essence of what prayer truly is, in its purest form? Prayer was never about desperate pleas to a distant entity, but about aligning a power already within you. Consider the phrase, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven." If heaven is a state of consciousness, and the kingdom is the manifestation of that consciousness, then the prayer Jesus taught, distorted over centuries, was actually a forgotten spiritual code to bring the divine into the earthly plane, to manifest higher will here and now. It's an activation, not a request. It's a recognition that the kingdom isn't out there but within, pulsing with the same energy that moves galaxies. Jungian psychology teaches us about individuation, the process of integrating all parts of ourselves, including the inner shadow, to become whole. When you pray, you're not trying to convince a God but harmonizing your own psyche, dissolving inner resistances that prevent you from manifesting your highest self. Think of the archetypes of the Creator, the magician, the ruler, all reside in our collective unconscious. True prayer is the act of accessing these archetypes, connecting with the innate wisdom that guides life. When Jesus said Our Father, he was activating the archetype of the Divine Father, not as an external figure but as the creative principle within us, the source of our own creativity and manifesting power. What many call existential crises are, in truth, echoes of this archetypal call to align with your true nature. Neuroscience, meanwhile, shows how meditation and deep prayer alter brainwaves. promoting coherence between hemispheres, reducing activity in fear centers, and activating areas tied to compassion and intuition. The pineal gland, in this process, isn't just a biological structure. It becomes a receiver and transmitter, tuning you into higher frequencies, allowing synchronicity to manifest in your life with increasing clarity and significance. The words of the Our Father, "Give us this day our daily bread," aren't a plea for mere subsistence, but a recognition that divine provision is constant, that abundance is the universe's natural state when we align with it. It's a powerful Jungian symbol. Bread as sustenance, not just physical but spiritual. The vital energy that nourishes us. When you surrender to the truth of this provision, releasing emotional trauma tied to scarcity or lack, the universe responds. Forgiving our debtors, as taught, isn't a burden but a liberation. Holding grudges is carrying a weight that sickens the soul and body, a poison manifesting in the inner shadow and hindering your spiritual healing. Forgiveness is the deactivation of that poison, the breaking of an energetic bond tying you to the past and blocking your awakening of consciousness. It's a radical act of The prayer Jesus taught, and which was distorted, is a practice of aligning with the truth of who you truly are. A being of limitless potential, connected to an inexhaustible source of wisdom and power. It's not about asking the divine to do something for you, but becoming the channel through which the divine operates in your life and the world. It's your mastery in action. This is the essence of awakening consciousness, going beyond illusions, fears, and limiting stories we've been told, and activating the truth residing in your heart. It's a journey to your own inner authority. The emptiness you feel, the crisis consuming you, is, in truth, a call to fill that space with your own truth, with the power always there, just waiting to be recognized. The prayer Jesus taught, and which has been distorted, is a technology of consciousness, a method to realign the individual with their source, activating forgotten spiritual codes that connect us to the matrix of creation. Consider the words, "Hallowed be thy name." It's not passive worship, but an active recognition of the sanctity inherent in all existence, including your own. It's the sacralization of the present moment, the understanding that every instant is an opportunity to manifest the divine. Ancient wisdom, echoed by modern psychology, shows that projecting God externally reflects an inner disconnection. When we seek healing or answers outside ourselves, we neglect the power of our own inner archetype, the healer, the sage, the king, dwelling in our psyche. Integrating the inner shadow is crucial here. What you reject in yourself, what you hide from the world, is often the key to your greatest power. The distorted prayer taught us to beg. The true prayer teaches us to integrate and manifest. Neuroscience, with functional MRI, reveals brain changes in deep meditators, brain areas tied to empathy and intuitive perception, many linked to pineal gland function, light up, indicating a state of connection and coherence beyond ordinary logic. The phrase, "Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil," isn't a plea for God to shield us from something external, but a recognition of our own discernment, our ability to steer clear of self-destructive patterns emerging from unprocessed emotional trauma. The evil is often not a demonic entity, but the manifestation of our own unbalanced, unconscious, our unintegrated inner shadow. Deliverance from evil is an act of self-awareness, a conscious choice to raise vibration, transcend duality, and access a state of unity. This is true spiritual healing, the ability to transmute pain into wisdom, fear into love. It's a process of psychic alchemy, where Jungian symbols of struggle and redemption manifest in our personal journey, guiding us to an ever deeper awakening of consciousness. Synchronicity becomes more evident as you align with this truth, with the essence of the prayer Jesus taught, distorted in its popular interpretation. Events in your life are no longer mere coincidences but signs, messages from the collective unconscious, confirming you're on the right path. This is the prayer that doesn't ask but affirms, that doesn't plead but manifests. It's an empowerment tool, a map to your own divine potential. It reminds us that the power to transform your reality, to overcome your existential crises, lies not in an external force, but in the divine flame burning within you.